Hi, I'm April, and I'm the founder of the Love and Loss Project. And today I'm answering a question from Marisol. I thank you so much for sending this question in because I know that it's one that a lot of other people struggle with too. So Mariel's asked, how do you deal with insomnia after baby loss? And the first thing I want to say is that grief is such a cruel land of contradictions. On one hand, it is exhausting, mentally, emotionally, physically exhausting. And yet at the same time, it often really prevents us from getting the sleep that we need. So I have a few tips for you today that will hopefully help you get a bit of better rest and help you get through the darkness of grief and loss. So the first thing I want to ask you is, how are you avoiding, or are you avoiding, your grief and pain during the day? Because I've come to realize when I've worked with other clients and people that there's often this phenomenon that which we resist gets stronger, and it often comes back at night. So if you find yourself trying to distract yourself, trying to avoid, trying to get away from, or just stay busy to distract yourself from the pain of grief and loss, it often creeps in and really grabs hold of us when we're getting ready to go to sleep. Because that's kind of the time where we've loosened our grip on it, and now it really wants our full attention because we're not working quite so hard to keep the lid on it, right? When we're shutting off and letting go and getting ready to release ourselves into sleep. So that's often when it comes out swinging. So I would encourage you to think about giving yourself more conscious, intentional time to grieve during the day, to take that time for yourself to process some of this stuff out and to nurture it through. Because that which we resist, it does get stronger. The second thing I want to say is when you're in bed and you can't turn the thoughts off, or your mind's continuing to work and you're just not able to turn it off and get some rest, stop fighting that. Sometimes it is often better to just get up, get into a different room, get out your journal and get those thoughts out of your head and onto paper so that it gets the attention that it needs so that you can actually turn it off and get to sleep. That was one that I often use at times in my life and after my grief when I had trouble sleeping, and I found that often to be really effective. But it's almost like the thoughts just keep swirling and swirling and swirling until we get it out on paper, and then we're able to get some distance from it. Or have a bath, or do whatever it is that you need to do. But maybe just allow yourself to kind of get up and take some of that pressure off to sleep. And then try again after maybe 20 minutes or half an hour or so. The third thing I want to say is that rest is almost as good as sleep. I first heard this idea from Deepak Chopra, who is a medical doctor and, as many people know, an incredible guru that's out there in the world. But this idea really stood out to me because I think that one of the things that often happens when we're lying in bed and we can't sleep, we start to get really stressed out about the fact that we can't sleep. And then the stress increases and we catch ourselves staring at the clock and counting down the hours and thinking about how awful and depleted we're going to feel tomorrow and all the things that this is going to impact negatively on what we have to do the next day. And the stress goes up and up and up. And that makes it even harder to get to sleep. So instead, maybe you just embrace it and you say, okay, I'm maybe not going to be able to sleep right now. Maybe that is not accessible to me in this moment, but I will rest. And so put on one of your favorite movies, something you find relaxing and comforting, even just a little bit, and let yourself move into rest mode. Your body is still going to be operating at a quieter level, at a slower level when you're reading a book or watching a relaxing movie. And if that's all your system can soak up right now, then at least give it that and see what that does. The last thing I want to say is that if this is really persisting and if you find yourself not able to get the sleep that your body needs, then you might want to consider checking in with your family doctor. So those are my tips for you for today. I really hope that helped, and I'd love to hear from you and let me know if that did the trick for you or what your process was with that. And if you like this video, I would really be grateful if everyone shared it with your friends or with other people that you know might benefit from a bit of extra support and a bit of extra conversation. So let's keep breaking the silence. Send me your questions because I'd love to hear from you, and your question might be the topic of my next video. So bye for now, and I'll see you next time. Take care.